down with Call of Duty forever.
They just need to add, dude. I wonder how many people they lost today just by taking 3v3 snipers out. You know what I mean? I wonder how many people they take out. How many people were like, fuck this, I'm out. DJ take it. Shit. That's it.
Nothing to do in this game.
Hold on, audio.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun and State Farm Stadium here in... Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go. Here we go. Go ahead, Reed. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Back.
first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This is Kenyon Drake, the fourth-year man from Alabama. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Well, for these two franchises, the Lions and the Cardinals, it all began back on a Sunday in October of 1930 when the Chicago Cardinals visited Portsmouth, Ohio to play a scoreless game against the hometown Portsmouth Spartans in front of 6,500 fans. 4 years later, the Portsmouth Spartans would move to Detroit. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Cardinals. Demir Bird, 60 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Check 3.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Check out 32. Double right.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know the fans are thinking right now, I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, check. 3 down. Check 82.
They run with Pumphrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Check the backer. Kill.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Now he'll escape to his left. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Lions offense ready to kick off. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And an alley to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 39 yards there, a big one. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here we go. Yeah, check. Hey, Mike. Hey, no, switch the mic right here. We go Mike forward.
After the turnover, here's Murray. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A nice gain of 21 yards. Well, that's a familiar connection right there. Christian Kirk was in the same class as Kyler Murray at Texas A&M. They played together as freshmen before Murray transferred. Kirk, though, he stayed in College Station, had a great 3-year career before being drafted 47th overall in 2018. Was having a solid rookie campaign last year, but then broke his foot in Week 13 and was shut down the rest of the way. To throw, it's Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Murray now on first down. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Devon Kennard just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. There's the first NFL grab for Andy Isabella. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. The pass complete. It's Bird. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Now Murray. That ball complete to Isabella. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A well-executed 22-yard gain. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive, but they'll be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll come out in the pistol from the 3 now. Here they come on 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson, and he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. A 3-yard touchdown run. Here the Cardinals push further out in front. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford, and his throw is incomplete. Coverage that time by Deontay Thompson.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Here's Stafford. And James has it. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Hey, 5-0!
From the gun, a run for Johnson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The shotgun snap for Stafford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1st down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make it bigger.
That is wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Hassan Reddick. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Stay 50, stay 50.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford, James has got it, complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down.
50.
Out of the gun, Stafford. It's caught, Jones. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now on 2nd and 16, Stafford. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Alert!
Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Here's Sam Martin now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Gets it away, and I don't think Peterson will get a chance to touch this one. Angling for the sideline.
At their own 42-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. From the gun, Murray. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
On 2nd and 15 now. Murray. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
A gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 11.
On 3rd down, Murray. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Devon Kennard picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
Good one,
The Lions
go.
take over 1st
Let's
and
go.
10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've got to be on the
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 40. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming.
On first and goal, Drake. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the lead is now 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing to Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Clayton McDonald coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. They are going to go for it. It's Stafford. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
A gain of 2. Brings up second and 8 at the 22-yard line.
Hey, let's go, come press. Bang, 66, pull it, half, on the right.
From the 22, Murray looking for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. Trying to get it to Clay that time. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Check. Slam. Check. Hey, Red.
On second down now. It's Johnson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and just like that, it's third down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rodney Gunter in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hey, my 7.
Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
All day, every time.
Murray has the first down and more. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper.
So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time first down. But I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it all in as he's watched this thing unfold. And finally, the eyes carried the legs and took him downfield.
You're right. His longest run of the game waited until the 4th quarter, and maybe that lulled the defense to sleep a little bit. That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They'll run with Drake. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never...
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Kenyon Drake. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Short boot, take it at the 21. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Buda Baker with a pick. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And an alley to run. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Had 2 sides to that coin and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now...
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Deontay Thompson, the rookie from Bama. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 15 at the 44-yard line.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals.